Nigeria is facing one of its most severe economic crises in years, triggering nationwide protest. Thousands of citizens across Africa's biggest economy are taking to the streets to protest the high cost of living. They want authorities to take the necessary steps to bring down inflation or resign from office. Omer Bakkaloglu reports.
The price of this rice has nearly doubled since the middle of last year, reaching $53 for a standard 50-kilogram bag. The price tag exceeds the monthly income of a majority of Nigerians, making it difficult for breadwinners to feed their families. Official figures have revealed consumer inflation rose for the 13th straight month in January and hit nearly 30%, the highest rate since 1996.
Everyone in their daily life knows that the prices of certain things have gone up by at least 3x. Items that you buy for 1,000 naira before, now you're getting it for 3,500. I'm talking about soap, your body spray, you name it. Anything you want to buy in the last 18 months has gone up by 3x. Bucket of gari has gone up from what used to be at 750, 800 like 18 months ago now to 2,025. A crate of egg now is 4,000. 18 months ago it was 900, 1,000. So those are real numbers, and those are the realities we have on ground.
The rising cost of living has sparked nationwide protests in Africa's biggest economy and most populous nation. Thousands of Nigerians have been taken to the streets for weeks to voice their anger at the economic hardship.
This country is bleeding. This country is adding. This country is angry. People are suffering.
We are fed up, we are hungry. We are students and our parents don't have money for school fees. We are all suffering. This protest has to work.
The situation got worse after President Bola Tinubu removed a decades-old fuel subsidy policy when he took office last May. The government has also sharply devalued the naira for the second time in 8 months in a bid to attract investment to its ailing economy. But multinational companies are still not willing to invest in Nigeria, as dollar shortages block them to repatriate revenues to their home countries. Now economists fear the social unrest could further cloud the country's outlook, driving the already high cost of living even higher. Omer Bakkaloglu, TRT World.
For more on this now, let's bring in Chimera Ihieno. He is Senior Associate at Kwakol Market. Thank you for being with us. Protests in Nigeria have a lot to do with economic problems in the country. Can you drive us through, first of all, what are the main problems? What is top of the agenda right now in the country?
Well, of recent January numbers shows that food inflation is at 35.41%. And headline inflation is also at about 29.9%. So these are exacerbated pre-existing challenges. And when this new government came into power, they removed fuel subsidy, and of course they devalued the naira in order to gain a parity and unify the naira with the parallel market exchange rates. But these policies have not transmitted to positive outcomes for the Nigerian economy. And it has, of course, I said earlier, it has exacerbated pre-existing challenges. Prior to these policies, Nigeria has about 133 million people who are multidimensionally poor. We have so much hand-to-mouth consumers, and there's little or no safety nets out there. So people are just showing their grievances to these numbers. Poverty level is rising continuously, and this is why we are seeing protests across the country at this time.
Right. This is one of the West African nation's worst economic crises in so many years. And it was triggered, as you said, I understand, by surging inflation. But I also think, to an extent, that was actually triggered by monetary policies that were put in place. And they have dipped the local currency, the naira, to an all-time low now against the dollar. Then I'd like to ask you, what can be done on the monetary front, or maybe on the fiscal front as well, to support at least the local currency?
So the truth now is that there's not much the monetary policy can do, and this is because the inflation problem we're currently having is what we call a cost push inflation, and that again our naira has now been we no longer operate a fixed market exchange rate regime. We now have a flexible exchange rate regime. So that this automatically makes it difficult for the Central Bank of Nigeria to rejig and try to push the currencies to appreciate. I would say the major goal of the government now is to look towards the fiscal side of the economy. What we need to do now is to try as much as possible and improve oil output, because that is our major export base. We don't have much for exports. So currently Nigeria produces about 1.4 million barrels of crude oil per day. What we need to do now is to try as much as possible to increase our export base by pumping more oil. Not just pumping more oil, we also need to improve and work on our value chain. So Nigeria exports crude oil and then we import refined products. We export cocoa and we import chocolates. So these issues are what have continued to feed into our exchange rate problem. We need to work on our value chains and try to improve our export base and quality of our export. This is the only way we can start seeing a positive outcome for our exchange rate and our currency.
Right, Chimere Ihonu, thank you very much for your analysis and for being with us today.
Thank you.